With the Amex Gold Card, every meal is a reward, earning you 4 times membership rewards points at restaurants and U.S. supermarkets. That's an opportunity in every bite, sip, slice, and scoop. Whether you decide to stay in or go all out. Earn rewards on everyday meals with the Amex Gold Card.
With Verizon Home Device Protect, when coffee meets keyboard, we cover it. When an alley-oop becomes an alley-oops.
All right, testing, 1 2 1 2.
And when an install is beyond your skills, get professional installation on us.
Ugh, advertisements kicked in. There we go. Yeah, sorry about the advertising kicking in. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, The Burger Thought. I am Dante. I'm your host. There's no camera tonight. It's too hot and sweaty where I'm at. So I am just going to go ahead and I am just doing some late night art because my 3D printer is running and I'm a paranoid individual. So I like to watch it for the first like half hour while that print runs. And my sleep pattern's all jacked up. So I'm going to stay up and I'm going to work. So it is printing a 3D project that is part of what I've been doing recently. If anyone who's ever seen the recent videos I've been putting up, I'm working on a toy that is an astronaut with a large backpack. The backpack is 3D printed because it has specific shapes to it. So while that prints, I'm going to work on a side project. So I'm making sure that all the audio is working fine. So I'm going to switch my headset right now away from that. That way I can listen to the music, and in case a commercial pops up again, I could easily just skip it. There we go. Okay. And, oh, my headphones acting weird. Come on. There we go. Alright. So, this is tonight a casual stream. We're going to chill. We're going to relax. And we're going to work on some more Transformers stuff. If you haven't seen the videos yet, I have uploaded to my YouTube the last big Transformer video I did, in which I made my own original G1 style mini cassettes. So I made 4 characters. No, correction, I made 3 characters. One's an anglerfish, one is a helicopter, and one is a kind of sci-fi tank. And the helicopter and tank actually merged together to become a dragon. I was really happy with that project. But along with those 3 cassettes, I made an extra, which was a silver cassette that in itself became accessories for G1 style toys. Because I was like, you know, you have all these G1 style cassettes, you have these G1 toys that all came with these bits and bobs and little extra pieces that had nowhere else to go. So I made one cassette that separated into various pieces and became 2 sets, became a gun. I mean, it became 2 sets of matching. I'm saying 2 sets. Forgive me. It became a pair of a gun and a kind of like rocket launcher, if you would. And then the other part was a long gun, like a large sidewinder that opened up into a pair of wings that could be placed on a cassette of your choice. And I was like, what if I made a whole series of just simple to print, minimum with minimal construction needed for people who want to print it on their own. Just a series of G1 cassettes which double as accessories for other toys. It's a niche idea, but it's what I want to do. Forgive me, I'm just having a little drink right now. Good stuff. Alright, so here is my base cassette right here. It's going to consist of 2 of these. They're going to be mirrored. It's a little rocket launcher with a kind of air vent on the side of it. And we are also going to take the top half and turn that into something. So first things first, I need to figure out some mechanics right here. Let's see. Sorry. So how are these gonna work in conjunction? Like basically they have to transform and all plug into each other. They have to plug. So I gotta figure out how I want to do that. The idea is it's gonna be, let me turn it over, 1 here and 1 here, like matching rocket launchers. And this top almost triangular piece, what is with the advertisements all of a sudden? This audio track did not used to have this kind of amount of freaking commercials in it. Anyway, and this top half here will be something else on its own as well. But they still all have to connect. So let's figure that out. So how much space we have here? That's 8. So let's go up. No. The trick is I still want this hole in the cassette. Like it needs to have the hole. That's part of it. So how are we going to go about that? Well, let's see. First things first. Let's say 2 and 2. We are counting in millimeters. And just to double check, this is 8 across. So we're gonna, let's see, 2 and 2, that's 4, obviously. Go to a rectangle. Let me see. 4 by what? That's the question. Well, it should only be 4 by 5, technically. Oh, that didn't take for some reason. Let's try that again. 4 by 5. Enter. Alright. So that's 5. So we're matching it for a 5mm port. That's what we're trying to do. Because even the G1 cassettes did in fact use 5mm ports. I'm basically trying to give us enough room let's see. Yeah. I'm trying to give us enough room because essentially we're going to make a port that sticks this way, but it's going to be on both sides. Let me make sure it's on screen. It's going to stick this way and stick that way. I have to make sure there's enough room for them to cross. You know, you don't want them to bump into each other like swords or something. There we go. So let's go downward. 5 by 4. Enter. There we go. Now where's your center? So that should be 2.5 right there. That's what that's going to look like. And when you pull it, it pulls at this angle, which is beautiful. So just to verify, let's get a ruler out. That's 4 millimeters. That's 5. So it should fit nice and snug into. It's a semi-rectangular port going in semi-rectangular plug, which is going to go into eventually a round port if we did the math right. Now this piece is going to be mirrored on two sides, so we're going to make it. Well, we could do 4 and 4. Yeah. Four. That should work. Yeah. And if you look, this wall right here going straight up, as long as it's not going past this right here, it should work. I think we got it. Let's get rid of what we don't need. We don't need any of this. We're just going to punch a hole right through it. We're going to use the push. Use the push. Oh, that didn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. That's one. Oh. We are going to make this a group. That way it doesn't get all fudged up in any way. Let's be safe, people. Let's grab this. This was hard to make, actually, get this just right. I'm gonna take our base, make a copy, put them over here. Oh, he's up against him. I don't like that. There we go. There we go. Let me explode that. Let me also complete that. So what we're getting rid of is all of this. This needs to go. Bye-bye to you. Okay. And bye-bye to you. So this goes all the way through. At least it's supposed to. Oh, that's why. We somehow lost the back. So these guys, I like to sink them in about. I think only did one on either side, about 1 millimeter. But technically, this whole thing should be like that. There we go. Okay, so we're going to make this a group. Make a group. It is considered a solid piece. Ugh, but this may not be solid. That's our problem. It is a group. It is not a solid. It has way too much going on. I am not going to spend my entire life trying to get this to work for us in a solid form. So what we're going to do, we're going to cheat here. To explode this, I'm going to copy this right here. There we go. Because normally we would do the thing where I'll make both of these a solid. I'll make both of them a solid. And I'll subtract one from the other to get the... why is this not... Hello? Select. Let me select all of you. Right click. Make group. There we go. Normally I'll make this a solid. Overlap it with this. And then we'd hit the trim tool to remove the pieces we don't want. It basically subtracts from one solid to the other. But there's so much internal garbage, as you can see, that I'm right now erasing. By the time I get that all cleaned up and the machine registers it as a solid, we'd be here for 3 freaking years. So I'm going to do something completely different. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just take these lines that we have. We're going to overlay them on the other model, basically merging them together, and then push this into it. I shall demonstrate thusly. Well, first we make a copy of it too. We could copy that, and we're gonna see if we could. Can we just flip it? Will the flip work? There we go. It works. I'm gonna do both sides. Just gotta get it to move in position where it snaps to this model. Grab this corner. Come on. You were almost there, buddy. You were almost there. Come on. Snap, snap, snap. There we go. Now, explode. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Something's not right. Ah, that's what happened. Reverse face. I hit reverse thinking the inside was this out here. That was my fault. That was my fault. So I actually gotta complete this. There we go. And it should push. Let's give it 5 millimeters. Let me check something real quick. I'm going to delete this wall. Ah, it does overlap a bit. I don't know if we could push into each other. Let's try that again. Let's go 4.5. We might need to play it safe. We might need to pull back on this one rather than 4. We might need to make this to play it safe. Let's pull this down by 0.5. So it's 3.5. There we go. Those small bits matter when you're trying to combine these guys together. Rinse and repeat for this side. Come on. That took nicely. Yep, we got that crossover. That's annoying. Well, shoot. No, it's okay. So this is 3.5. I made this 4.5 just to be safe. Just to give it like room, you know, during the printing process. So let's see what happens if I delete that and delete that. Oh, something's not lined up right. That's my mistake. I went to the wrong point. It should be there. And this should be gone. And this should go there. There we go. Oh. And let's reconnect some pieces here. Alright, we did do something wrong here. Let's back it up. Oh, yeah, it's far more than just a tip touching. Yeah, part of the actual circle is kind of getting lost in there. Ha 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 ha. Oh. When in doubt, double click and follow the invisible geometry. There we go. I think that will merge them better. Are we gonna lose stuff? Let's see. So I drew in missing geometry. And there we go. That's better. I'm gonna do? I'm debating if I should just connect these and make it like a tube. Because when it's time to 3D print, I'm afraid that the supports are gonna get jammed in there. Yeah, you make a tube, but they might get the supports all jammed up in there. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to get out. You know what? We'll return to that. I mean, of course, the easy answer is, if this is, the easy answer is, if I've already shrunk this down to 3.5, I could just shrink these guys down back to a freaking 4 and avoid all this. Okay, what is going on? This has never happened before with this playlist. Why are we now getting that? But we're gonna do some jungle noises in the background. There we go. I don't know what the deal is with that. Check my audio, make sure you guys aren't getting your eardrums blown out. You could barely hear it anyway. Boom. Let's see if that works. There we go. Just a little something in the background. Yeah, I think we should just take our losses. Worst comes to worst, I could do a little shaving when a 3D print comes out. Worst comes to worst. So we are just gonna push these guys in whoop, by a 4 and whoop, by a 4. And if you look, they're not touching. There we go. Alright. Okay. So that makes... Let me zoom out again. Let me show what we did here. Now that we know, now that we have that, that's a group. This is not a group. Let's make you a group just to be safe. That's a group. So, grab him, stick him right there, turn him over for a minute. I definitely got to complete that circle on that side. But, that's how it fits. Let's hit K. You can see, inside with just a little bit of a room. Kind of like an air pocket room, which is good. Nice. That is nice. Okay. Let's copy paste this bad boy. Just to say we have it. Boom. Those are those two. Let's... the back sides need to have the indents, much like this one, to look like actual cassettes. So one side has like a blank cassette detail, which is like the sunken in spots, the sunken in holes. Then you go like, then we add a sticker to it for the fine details. And then this side, so I'm thinking, you know those backpacks that you see like in like Vietnam films and stuff. There's always one guy carrying the radio. So I'm thinking I want to do like a radio on this guy. Kind of like a radio jammer. That's going to have this big pole that sticks out and everything. So, before we do that, because you should always be paranoid just a little. Once again, we're going to grab these. Get them the heck out of here. We're going to grab this. We're going to do a copy and paste just in case we screw it up. Bam. You're going to hit file and save like a good boy. It's saving. There we go. Now we're going to do some details on this. So I was thinking, first things first, explode. I was thinking of putting a canyon in this. If that makes sense, a canyon, if you would. So we could do 1 and 1. I mean, I like playing it safe, so let's do 1.5. 1.5. That way the walls are thick enough. And then I'm going to take a rectangle. One and 5, it says 5. I'm an idiot. So 1.5 and 1.5 is 3, which means this gap should be 5 by 48 millimeters. That's a standard size I've been using for this. Right? So let's drop this down. How long is this? This is what? That's 6. That sounds good. Let's drop it down to right there. That's our canyon. We're going to put a long antenna in this, which can then double as like a ram. As like a spike, if you would. We're going to, on this side, we're going to have a piece that flips outward, and that's going to be our port. So we made ports that go in here. We're going to make, not ports, we made pegs that go in here. We're going to make a peg that flips out. This whole thing is going to be a backpack. You will see. You will all see. I'll make you see. Let's copy that. Right there. This is what we're working with. This is our scale for now. Oh, come on. Come on. Don't do that. There we go. Let's see. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Let's do 6 by... What do you think? What were you thinking? Let's make it long. Let's say 6 by 8, right? Why not? Probably go longer than that. We'll figure that part out. So if this is 6, ooh, I know what we're doing. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a pole. We'll make it a pole. It's an antenna. It should be a pole anyway. Wait, what's the gap? It should be 5. So this is gonna come out by 5. Right? That's all 5. Yeah, 5. Come on, where are you? There you go. Let's make it 2. I want to play it safe. There we go. That's silly. Let me go back. Sorry. I'm just... everything is about wall space. How... Wow. Everything. Even the calming, relaxing, freaking... sounds of the jungle has freaking advertisements in it. YouTube has gone crazy. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Whoa! Right at you. Come on, center point. There you go. What am I thinking? I want to give it a few interesting details. So, we're going to do 2. Drag that down by, let's say, 3. Then we're going to do another one. Make that 2.5. Can I delete this without it reaching that? Nope, no I can't. I'm going to drag that down by 3 as well. And I should just drag the whole thing down. That was interesting. Yeah, it's a bit of a weirdness there. We'll figure that out. I wanted to do something cool where it had like a pattern, but that didn't work out, now did it? Let's backtrack all that. There we go. Three. There we go. That I like. just to give it like this, just to give like, you know, some character to the antennae. See, if I go all the way to here, what happens? That's 6. So yeah, let's do 3 again. Three. Yeah, let's go all the way. We'll see how that prints out. Let's get rid of all of this. Doot doot. Doot doot. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Doot doot. I'm sure some holes showed up. There's one hole. While we're here, I'm gonna go ahead. There we go. Just want to get rid of some of this unneeded internal junk right here. Hopefully it didn't erase anything on. Ah, good, perfect. We are good. And then we could just correct what's missing. There we go. So this is our antennae. But we all gonna have some fun. Midpoint. That's 6. Where's 3 on this? 3. That's 3. No, that's too much. 1.5 on either side. Sinking in by like what? 3? There we go. So the antennae will double as essentially a gun. Make a group. I just want to see how it fits, how it looks. Come on. Drop into position. I keep hitting the wrong. Gotta move my mouse pad over. I keep hitting. My muscle memory is causing me to hit the wrong key because I'm moving around the wrong angle. Bam. So that's where we are right now. And it should rotate out just fine. Just gotta make sure the hole lines up. Whoa, what the heck? No. Just gotta make sure this lines up correctly. That's 6. Alright, we'll work on that in a minute. But just so I could see exactly where I'm at. Right. So I mind you, this is what I gave it. Barely 1.5. So I could do some detailing, but I can only sink it in so much. This has more room for detailing. So the original concept I had was putting a big old TV screen right here. Like a command center kind of screen, you know? So I'm thinking right about here. Let's make it 9. So I'm right there. Now if I do it beneath it, I have a lot more room. Oh, for freak's sake. You know what? We're not going to listen to any music right now. Sorry, guys. I can't do this anymore. Now, here's the issue. If I bring it up here, I'm extremely close to a thin wall. If I bring it down here, we have a lot more to work with in terms of like wall thickness. So let's figure something out here. That's 6. Let's bring it down to 7. I'm just doing it. I'm just evening it out, and then we'll go figure out the rest from there. That's 6. That's roughly 17. Let's make it. About right there. I'm hearing some weird noises. Give me a second, guys. Gonna check something real quick. Ah, we're good. Sorry about that. I was hearing a weird winding noise. That was my 3D printer. I mean, it is the 3D printer that's making the noise, but it's not. It's not an issue. It is not an issue. So part of me is thinking, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna bring this in by 0.5. So this is gonna be. I don't like it being a single millimeter thick, but we'll see how that wall goes. And then this one is going to come out a 0.5. So this is now, that's a 2 millimeter wall. Now, if I get nervous about this wall being too thin, the next thing to do then will be to essentially, I like the fact that this is a 5. I could shrink this down. I could make this thin. But it's a pole, and I'm so afraid a pole is going to snap. This is 5 millimeters thick. Right? Half a centimeter thick. Which is actually... I mean, we could thin that down just by a pinch here and there. Just to give us, like, little, extra space here and there. We'll figure that out. Alright. Where was I? Ah, yes. Okay. I know I'm going to do now. Grab that center. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Try again. Grab that center. Why are you doing that? What is happening? What is happening here? Are we? Okay. Yeah, what? There we go. Oh. I is a fool. I know what I must do. That's gonna give us like a even rectangle kind of yeah. We're going to use this tool. How high is this from this guy on top? Alright. Gonna sink that in by 1. Go once again. We got 2. Alright, we got 2 here. Let's do a control panel. I want to do a control panel down here. I'm going to do something like... No. Something along that. Delete that. And then we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna put like speakers on the sides. Like right here. So let's see. Let's go, let's say we go up by 1. Make that a 9 right there. Right? So we go up by 1. Make it a 9. Right there. What are we thinking? That's 5. Let's go 4. 4. Yeah. Alright, so we need to figure out where this hole is gonna go. I need to remember, I need to figure that out, because for some reason I'm having trouble, because, you know, you're thinking in 3-dimensional, and your mind, after a while, you're like, this, you can't do the math anymore. Okay, so you are... That's you. Okay. Right. And if that's you there, let me see. The whole length was 5. So I need to do 2.5 to be centered. That is... So 1.5 makes 3, and 1 makes 2. What that means is I'm gonna sink this in by 1. Now let's make it, let's play it safe. I'm gonna sink it in by 0.5. This is when I use nails for the pins, so this is the lip of the nail. The head of the nail, that is. And if I grab this and push it in by 2, there's our hole. And we do the same on this side, but not for the head of the nail, just 2.5. This is just for the nail itself. If I push this in by 1, there we go. Nice. Now I want to try something interesting. Let's see. I want to see just where this sits in conjunction. Nope, nope, right here. That's 2. And that is 1. Alright. I'm gonna move this over. Let's move this over by 1. There's a reason for this. I swear. I'm basically going to do a rim around this entire thing. That way I could sync everything. And basically just, when it comes to making details on these, it's just a matter of syncing and rising certain things. Because in the end, everything still needs to be flat. I'm trying to keep it as flat as possible to keep the cassette look. So that's 2. Let's go 1. Bam. Right? So let's see if this works. I'm gonna do something a bit cray-cray. Let's see if it works. Nope. That's the wrong one. Okay. We're gonna try and offset this. Oh, I can't. Something happened. You. And you. And you. Oh, there we go. There was a gap in it. Okay, now will you do it? Ah, nope. That's too much. Alright, we'll just do lines. We'll do it ourselves. We'll do it live, as they say. Bum, bum, bum. Burning down the house. Sorry, we don't have any music to play. Any real music. What is that? 5. Obviously, everything's 5. I try to keep everything within like 5s and 2s and 3s. I don't like to do many points. It just makes everything a bit harder to deal with. Let's see if this works. Ran in by 1. Let's connect this like that. Yeah, I like that. Can I just copy this? Copy, paste, stick them over here. Do a little flip, flip. Nope, wrong button. Flip, flip. There we go. Reverse face, because that was a blue color. Oop. Accidentally deleted something. Go. Whoop, accidentally. Whoa, that whole thing just went bye-bye. Why you go bye-bye? Nah, it's okay. We'll fix it later. Okay, so I'm gonna sink that in. Let's do a 0.5. It is so minute, the 0.5s. But if you were to like drop paint into this, you will see the details. Then again, we could go wild. Yeah, let's do 0.5 again. There we go. So now it's a 1. We have some thin walls here. I'm not huge on, like I said, I'm not huge on 1mm walls, but they're all like self-contained very well. Now, how much space do we have from this to this? That's also 2. Yeah, my fear is the gap here. Like this right here. Like I feel like we're gonna get cracks here. But we'll see. Then again, I can always reinforce it with more stuff. Like like this. We'll just switch up the control panel. Nope, not you. You. We will. That did not work for some reason. Boom. There we go. Let's bring this back up. That is not. There we go. There we go. So we have thin detail there, but everything else kind of sticks out. All right. That's looking good. And we just put some beep boop buttons on this and we should be fine. I should bring that down. Yeah. That's better. What is going on? Why is this? There we go. There we go. Thank you very much, you jerk. You absolute jerk. Do 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 do. That to that is what? Almost 8. Let's say 6.5. That's sorry, not 6.5. 3.5. So 3.5. That's right there. Let us do a little rectangle. Go. From here, we'll do the same. Let's go up by 4. Gonna put another rectangle right here. Let's say 5.5 by 1. I figure if you do double, is that? Yeah, it keeps it as a 1. Because this was 1.3. That's weird. Let's try again. Let's go to a rectangle. Come on. Come on. You jerk. You absolute jerk, you. .5 by 0.25. There we go. And once again, we'll sync these in. So that's going to be 1. That's going to be 1 as well. And, whoop. That's going to be a 1 as well. Yes, that's your radio jammer. Had an idea for having 2 antennas, one swinging one way, one swinging the other, but I'm really not too sure how to figure that out. Let's hit K real quick. You can kind of, let's turn it around. Let me get rid of all these extra. I don't know what that's about. There we go. So you can kind of see the internal working. So we have a nice space right here in the gut, right in the center of it. Now that is going to be needed to give us our little flip out handle. Like that's going to be needed for the port. So I don't think we should try and fit another antenna in here if we can avoid it. But if I wanted to, I'm going to click this. Using this right here as our guide point, we're going to grab that and bring him out by, let's say, 90 right now. That's what it looks like. Just a little antenna. But if you want it to, you could do it by 180, and you basically have a cannon that mounts to the side of your characters. You can have a radio tower or a cannon. Little TV screen right here. You can imagine what's on that. I think that's quite nice. So that's the basic of it. You have your 2 missile launchers, which will peg here and here. You take out the missile launchers, you stick them on the side of whatever character, whatever G1 character you have, and that gives you cool little sidewinder missiles. The port will be centered, which means whatever, if let's say you put it on an original Frenzy or Rumble, the backpack itself won't be centered. Cause it'll kind of be off to the side on their shoulders. But any other character, you can put it on their side, like Ravage, the Rhinoceros, any of the characters that have, just put it on their sides, and you get a radio tower or a gun. That is quite fun. I'm liking that so far. Because it's taller this way, it's 6 millimeters. That way, it's 5 millimeters that way. I could probably do little details in the top and bottom of this as well if I wanted to. When I print this, I'll be printing it in this direction. That way, it will print back and forth, back and forth, back and forth that way. Oh, what the heck is all of that? got some stuff we don't know. I'm just going to do the cleanup. We're going to file and save that. So as I was saying, when it prints back and forth, which will give this pole a lot more sturdiness to it, as opposed to printing it up and down, like an actual tower. This will be printed flat. Since this side doesn't need any details, that will be printed flat. All this will be printed on the, it'll be printed like this. This is the bottom, there's the top. See, you know, I've learned that 3D printers, sometimes the bottom side looks kind of crummy. Now what we need to do is give these guys the proper detailing they need. So, I'm gonna explode that. I'm gonna copy this, that right there. I just need the lines, so nice. Do-do-do-do. This is what we need. I wonder. Oh, I know what to do. I'm gonna try and be sneaky. I'm gonna try and be lazy. That's what I'm gonna try and do. Let me make it a group first. Make it a group. Gonna grab this and bring it to there. So now we're going to bring it. There we go. That's that. Nope, I'm an idiot. Well, oh, I know. There's still a group? That's not a group. Let me make this a group again. Always make it a group, people. Otherwise, it'll merge together and it ruins your day. Essentially, it's the equivalent of accidentally drawing on the wrong layer. Things you don't want touching, they touch. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. I am trying something silly. And if it does that, nope. Now the question is, which one is it? Is it that one? Can I match this one up? No. There we go. There we go. Nope. Almost. Something's a little off. I gotta get way up in here. Oh, it's not turned all the way. It's not rotated properly. No. It needs to grab it from right there. I need to get super close. That's what we're looking at. Ha 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 ha. Copy paste. Nope, wrong button. We're gonna flip that. And this should match up over here too. Since all I did was flip it, let me zoom in. Yep. There we go. Explode everything. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. This sinks in approximately by 1. There is something there. What is that? What is that? What is that line? What are you? If I delete you. Does anything get erased? Did something get erased? What happened? What was that? Alright, good. Sound like a freaking paranoid individual. What's going on? Make a group. Going to explode these as well. Explode. Get rid of what we don't need. Get rid of you. Turn. Oh, erase, erase. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And we're going to sync this in also by 1. And we also, nope. We also ended up with something weird. What are you? Gonna delete. Is that I can... Oh, it's just an artifact from something else. Alright. Now, the main thing is, when we go to print, hopefully all these internal artifacts, all these internal nonsense, won't really matter. We will see if they do, because sometimes they don't. Sometimes the 3D printer just, the slicer just doesn't give a damn about those kind of things. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they'll read it and be like, nope, don't understand it. What is this? This is weird to me. But I think we are good. Is everything... Not everything's grouped yet. Let's group it all. Let's make a group. And let's do a test fitting. I just want to see how it looks like when it's test fitted. Grab you. Come on. Slide you back into place. There we go. That's 1. Same for you. That's 2. Nope, you're too high up. I put you too high up. That's my fault. All right. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And then you go right there. Alright, so that's your cassette on one side. We usually paint the little detail in the center regarding the flap. I mean, regarding the little window that shows you how much tape you've used up. Back in my day, cassettes used these things with tape on the inside, and they were called magnetic tape. And you have a little window right here, and you could see how much magnetic tape was on this side and how much was on that side. And that's, you know, as was the style of the day. And then this side is all the cool detail stuff. Me likey. Yeah, so that I have like a bit of an idea. I want to... Oop, that's the wrong button. I want to make a handful of these cassettes. The easier I can make them in terms of like people just print them and that's it. No need to assemble them. The easier I make it like that, the easier it is to kind of pitch them. Like with this, all you need to do is put a like a... All you need to do is like actually put a pin in this one and glue it in place. And I don't know, maybe I'll put them on the website. People could buy them for like $1. You know, you buy the file, that is. You buy the printed. You buy the printed file, and then also if I can make them myself easier, and I could probably sell them physically. That's also an option. So this is the radio tower and dual missiles. The original one we made was, once again, a matching pair of guns. They were not the same. One was a bullet gun. One shot like, one was made to look like it shoots grenades. I wanted like a duality to it, and that one also had the wings. The wings required a bit more assembly, but that was cool. And I have another idea for one that will basically split right down the middle and open up to giant kind of like crab claws, so you can add like extra arms to your G1 style figurine. And a reminder, 5mm port, 5mm port. These could still fit like technically in your standard transformer. So now we just got to do the tedious part of making an actual hold on, there we go. The kind of tedious part of making the flap in the back end of it, which isn't horrible. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. So let's see. I want to avoid. So we got plenty of room. We got plenty of room. So let us figure out. So it's gonna be. going to be this shape pretty much. So let us find a nice center point. So if this is what? 19? Half of 19, well, there's no half to that. So 9.5. That's 9.5. Boom, right there. So it needs to be at least 5 across, right? So if it needs to be 5 across, we could play it safe, do 0.5. And it needs to be 8 up. So that's 5.5 by, make it 9. No, correction, let's make it 9 for now. That way it's enough space. Explode. That way it's enough space. Now, that seems a bit low. But we're going to put the pin here. And that way when it flips out, it's here on top. But we're gonna do some stuff first. So this needs to be basically going to be copying this. So I made this 4. It could be thinner, to be honest. It could be much thinner. Also needs to be higher than that. Definitely needs to be higher than that. So we're gonna have to correct this. Bring it up. Bring it up. Kind of eyeballing that. Let's say 10. Right now I'm just kind of like futzing around trying to figure out what we're working with here. We can't be touching this, so that needs to be at least 1 down. There we go. And if I sink this in by 4, how close are we to these guys? Let me see. Counting, that's right about right there. That's just about 1.5. So we're about 1.5 higher than these guys, so we're good. And what does it give us lengthwise? Oh, that's perfect. Because it doesn't need to go all the way through on the guy's backpack. So I can make the actual length of the peg like freaking 6 and it's still good enough. I just want to give it room to move around. I do like this shape we made, so I want to copy this. There we go. Make this a group. And what I want to do is flatten that out on a more manageable horizontal, vertical kind of look. There we go. Much better to handle. Here's a cool trick. See how it's in a group at an angle if I... Come on. If I explode it, then make it a group again. Now it's like that. Let me do that. Let me let's say we make it 6. Nah, make it 7. There we go. Because by the time it rotates out of this, it's going to lose some of the length of it has. Gonna also try something here. Because you gotta get your nail in this. You gotta actually like reach in to fix it, to get it out. So if I did that, rotate a bit more. There we go. You gotta get your nail in there to pop it out. Make group. I just want to see how that looks in here. Now we do have a bit of a problem here, so we're not going to do it as rounded, I guess. Now I could just do a freaking peg, but what I need to do is something like this. Hold on. That's 2.5. That's actually perfect. Boom. We're gonna flatten out these sides. It'll make it a lot easier. That's not correct. That is not correct at all. It'll make it a lot easier to make a hole that slides through it. If I just give it a flat side. 7, give it a view. Push by 7, give it a view. So, technically, that's 4. That's 4 and a change. I mean, it will fit in the port. I'm just not sure how tight it will be. And we have a bot. Woo! Mark it on your bingo cards. We have a bot, baby. Mark it down. Where were we? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember now. I was trying to measure this off. That's only 4 deep anyway. Yeah. If that's freaking 4 deep, it has to be 4 by 4. I'm a freaking idiot. Yeah, it has to be 4 deep anyway. Because it is 5.5 across. We can always shrink that down anyway. Alright. So, the idea is... if that's 4. Let me push it back. How far can I push it without causing an issue? That's about... that's almost 3. Let's push it back 1. Because it needs to rotate, right? It's an issue of like... ooh, no, I did something... that... nope, it went forward 1. I want to push you back 1. Hello. Push 1. I can also adjust this bottom piece. Anyway, I'm just fiddling around trying to figure out sizing on this. So, let's go down. Let's say 2.5. We're going to go in 2.5. That's not how that works. 2.5, thank you. Gonna give this sucker 0.5. Number arc segment is too large for given angle or radius. So here's the funny thing. If I do 0.5, this makes it a technically a 1 millimeter measurement, right? And for the 1 millimeter measurements, I tend to just use like sewing needles. I just sink a sewing needle right in that sucker. We'll do the same on this side. Because, let me see. If I do... wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I know. If I did do it like that... I still have 1.5. You know what? We'll play it safe. That's still 1.5 in either direction, right? Yeah, 1.5, 1.5. So we're just trying to do all the measurements to get the freaking holes lined up. That's 2.5. 2.5. And we're going to do 1. Is that even helping us? Because if that's 1.5 that way, 1.5 that way, I gave us more top headroom. That way it could rotate and not smack into anything. Well, I did, but now that it's all 1.5 all over the place. So, let's see where it goes. No. Cancel that. Right, this is, like I said, this is the tedious part. Just me trying to figure out what we're doing here in terms of all the measurements. Oh, I brought that to the wrong side. This is a spare part side. Whenever I have a shape that I don't want to get messed up, I put it there. $2.5. What's half of 2.5? Come on, right there. So I want to give this at least... if I give it a 2... That's not gonna help us at all. There we go. Yeah, because then we have 1 millimeter on top. And that's also 4 across. So it's 1 on top, 2 on the sides. The top one we're a little iffy on, but we'll figure that out. So we're gonna make this a group. We're gonna see how it fits. Now we gave it space on the sides, which is good. Just gonna bring it up and see how it looks. Get way in there. Get way in there even more. Alright, so that's it lined up way up in there. That's it in there. Alright, so we're gonna do a little test real quick. I'm gonna have to sync this in. I guess I can't. I'm gonna delete that for a minute. And I'm gonna delete that and delete that. I just need to see how this, nope. I need to see how this turns. Come on, there we go. Oh, what an annoyance. Here we go. Oh, steady, steady. It looks like it'll turn okay. Let me get rid of all this so I can see what I'm doing. Bam. Guiding tool, right about there. Rectangle tool, nope. Alright. Do. Okay, you see, it's definitely touching the top and the sides. So we can bring those in a bit and see where it goes from there. Yeah, I got room to bring it in against the chest, and I got a little bit of room to bring it upward. Because that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out how much space does it need to make its turn. Right? And when it does make its turn, let's say I move it 90, right? So 90. Look how much is actually sticking out. It's not much. It's a very small stump. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's barely two. Let me do some random measurements here. Bring that there. It intersects. Yep, 2.5. It's barely sticking out, only 2.5. So, do. We're gonna go back and back and back and back and back and back and get you out of there. Alright. So we have an idea. Grab that. Oh. Let me delete that line. We're gonna grab this. Can we push it back? How far is it going before it causes issues? That's about 2. Let's bring it back 1. We're going to have to bring this up there, which will result... Where are you? I know you're there. Yeah. There we go. That will result in a hole. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. That's fine. We are going to also explode that. And we're going to pull this down. Let's give it 2. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to redo the line. Like that. Turn. Like that. We are still... I think we're still good in terms of space for that. Yeah. Yeah, look at the... between this line right here and this and the edge of our hole, I think we're good. I think I'm having issues with my stream all of a sudden. That was weird. Did my stream just jump, or was that something else going on? Let me do a test. Hello. Interesting. I've also adjusted the gain on my microphone, so I don't know if I'm coming across louder now. I hope I am. Okay, we're gonna do one last thing. Bam. To bam. Just about 4. Bam. To bam. That's 4. Our space here is 5.5. So we're going to go ahead and make this. That's weird. How am I going to fix that? Well, 0.5. I know how to fix it. It won't look pretty, but I know how to fix it. 0.5. There we go. Because doing this should... Let me check everything on this. Yep. We are attempting to make this roughly, at least one side needs to be 5 millimeters. One side of this box, because it needs to fit a 5mm port. Any smaller, any larger, and it gets kind of weird. So we have 4 because it's thin. And then because it's wide, we have 5. How does that work at a diagonal? 5.8. What is going on? That's 4. There we go. Okay. That's what it is. I might need to backtrack all of this anyway. But you can't offset the circle. Just gonna go back. Sorry guys, just gonna go back on all of this. Yeah, it's like I'm futzing over a single freaking centimeter. And it is stupid, and I'm sorry. What this happened? Be gone. Alright, so let's see. I'm just erasing lines I don't need, that I hope I don't need for the future. Where was I? Okay, okay. So it's roughly 4 across. We got plenty of space either way. It's a little loose. It doesn't bother me if it's actually a little loose. Like a freaking... You can always add something to it. Alright. You can always add like nail polish if you had to. Make this a group. I think that's enough room for everything. We're going to take this. We're going to cheat. We're going to push it out like that. This is a trick I learned a while back. We're going to push this one. Oh, no, it has a little line in the middle. So we're just going to push this one, let's say... Let's do it. Let's give it 5. Okay, that's 5 millimeters in. It's not touching anything. So this is what we do with this. We grab this. We do not include that. We do not include these little extras we don't need. And now that it's just that, we do... Oh, I lost the selection, sorry. There we go. What is going on? Select. Okay. Right click. Intersect with selected. Now, in a perfect world, that... Oh, you see the lines right there? That did that. It basically sectioned that. It created its own anchor point. Not anchor points. But it basically created its own lines. Can I select that and delete that? And do I see straight through? Yes, we do. And that is where we could slide in like a needle. Like I use sewing needles because they actually are very strong as like pins. Like small pins. That's why I could sink a needle or something straight through. It'll intersect with this. It'll work with that. We've added a little bit more space. Let me see. I'm going to once again delete that. And I'm gonna delete that for now. That way I could turn and see this bad boy and see what I'm working with. Is it the most ideal way of doing it? Nope. Okay. We got a midpoint. I just want to see if we're making clearance on everything. Ooh, that is tight. Look at that right there. That is tight. But it might work. Top definitely has space now. The top is rotated. That definitely has space. We know the back has space as well. Right? Yep, back has space. That bottom's a bit tight though. Let's bring it back. I'm going to try and rotate it again. Just a pinch. Okay, show me the goods. Are we making clearance? Are we still? If I rotate it, do I bump stuff? Ah, we're bumping stuff. We're bumping all this nonsense down here. Ah, frick. Well, we could also try something. Just want to see. Nope, that's not what I want to do. And when I do bring it about 90, my question is, how much is it sticking out? That's my question. If I could just bring it back by like a single freaking centimeter or whatever, that'll definitely help. Come on, stop it. You want to zoom in lightly and it doesn't let you. It just decides to jump from like 1 to 1,000. Okay, so that's 4.5. It is sticking out 4.5. I could push it in. I could push it in by 1. And we'll probably get plenty of clearance then. So, I'm going to undo all of that. So the option is, once again, dropping this down. Another peg. Let's see if we drop it down a peg. We'll do both. We'll drop it down a peg and move that one by 1. So 1. So if I do 1 to 1, that's that. If I was to drop this down, how long would it take before it smacks into it? Right about there. And it's 0.5. Alright. .25. Drop that by 0.25. Come over here. explode that nonsense, rotate it up, come over here, bring it in by 1. Now mind you, when it all 3D prints this stuff, like it's not always perfect. So hopefully that'll be enough to rotate everything around. And I think that's it. Okay, the only issue we have, in my opinion, is that this is just 1. Like, easily broken if not handled properly, like 1. We'll see. Make group. Make a group. And that's it, guys. That's it, really. We have all the pieces needed to make the cassette, all the pieces needed to make the cassette accessories, which is the antennae and the little plug that will come out the back. Hopefully enough clearance in the bottom here. I'm happy with the details. You know what, just for the heck of it, let's add one last detail to this. I sank this in. That's 3. This is 8. So, for the heck of it, let's go up by 2. Let's do another 2. Let me see, where's the 3 on this? That's 3. That's 1. Alright. 1.5. Wait, I forgot. This is 5, right? No, 6. That's 6. So I could drop it in 1.5, 1.5. And it should be fun. And this is... That's 3. Nah, make it 1 on 1. Yeah, make it 1 and 1. Because I don't want to risk structural integrity. There we go. Once again, just kind of giving it little details here and there rather than just a solid tube. Mind you, it's gonna be real tiny. Like, the whole thing is, the whole width is 8 millimeters going this way. So, you know, you're all zoomed in here trying to make as many fun little details as possible. But you have to ask yourself, will the 3D printer do it? Will it even matter? Like, if you do a wet wash on these, like, just like let it really soak in, you would capture all the fun little details. Just a simple, like, 1 centimeter in. But there's a PLA printer. So even then, it might not catch every detail. Also, I mean, the idea is I paint these silver to kind of mimic the silver accessories of the original G1 figures. But you could paint these whatever you want. You could paint them all kind of colors. You could give them full details and everything. Stickers and everything. Yeah, so I say that's it. I think we are done with this. Barring a test print, if anything needs to be adjusted, I think we are good. And yeah, so this makes the second of I call these my bit tapes because they're little bits that go to other tapes. This is the dual cannon radio. The next one I'll probably do when I have some time will be the crab claws, the matching like extra arms to give your characters. And the original one I did was the multi-gun and the wings, the bat wings. And yeah, this side, and it's funny because putting this little nub here kind of mimics the window you would see on these for the tape inside. Let me see. How long we've been streaming, guys? How long have I been streaming? I don't know. Where's my timer? Oh, we started at 11:37. It is 1:45. Yeah, so we did like a good. Let me see. There we go, but almost 2 hours. Roughly around 2 hours. I could do math, I think. Yeah, 11:30, 12:30. That's an hour. 1:30. That's an hour. Yeah, just over 2 hours. Nice. So we completed one. We completed a full piece in 2 hours. Meanwhile, my 3D printer is still going. Last I checked, I have 50 minutes on that. So by the end of the night, before I finally crash, because I'm gonna try and go to bed, but I don't think I'm able to sleep. But by the time that I do fall asleep, I will have one 3D model done, and I'll be happy with that. It is not this; it's a different project, as I mentioned earlier. To anyone who's watched this, thank you for joining me. You'll most likely watch this in the after party. These videos usually stay up for roughly a week on Twitch. They'll stay up permanently on my YouTube channel. You can see other 3D modelings and drawings. I have not been too active in my live streams, but you do see a few of those. If you want to see the other cassettes I made, if you want to check out my original personal cassettes, you can check out my YouTube channel. I have a short video showcasing them. I have a short, the actual like 1 to 2 minutes, just kind of highlighting them. Those are completed pieces. Check those out, please. And that'll be that. Once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you